Hi, I'm Ron Drodos, and welcome to what may be your very first piano lesson. Congratulations on starting. It's a wonderful instrument. I've been playing myself since I was about 6 years old and have been playing ever since. And one of the things I love about the piano is that it's a whole band or a whole orchestra. You can just play anything on it once you get going. And we're going to start in the very first lesson having a lot of fun. By the way, it doesn't matter if you have a keyboard like this or a piano. I have both. And I'm making this video on the keyboard because I know a lot of you watching this have keyboards, and I wanted to make you feel like you're comfortable too. But if you have a piano, that's great too. It really doesn't matter. Either one works. And to get started, let's just look at how you're going to sit at the piano. So whether you have a chair or a piano bench or a stool or something, you don't want to be sitting back, like if it's got a back. You don't want to be sitting all the way back. So sit a little forward, about halfway up, or a little towards the back maybe, and sit up straight with like a nice straight spine. And you don't want to be sitting so low that you're like this or looking way down there. You want to be sort of almost like your arms bent at the elbows or horizontal, or a little higher maybe, something just kind of comfortable. And keep a nice relaxed forearm, both arms. And also your hand position, just go like that. It's as if you're holding a ball. So you're not so flat and you're not playing with the tippy tops of your fingers, just almost the tops, but like you're holding a ball and you're just kind of relaxed here. You don't want to be tense. Just kind of relax. You can even shake your hands out, after you play a few songs. Just don't tense up. Just stay nice and relaxed. And we're going to start with just improvising, because what I'd like to do is work on several levels. We are going to get to the music that's in these PDFs, and look in detail at how long to play certain notes, and we're going to count beats and all the fundamentals that you need to know to learn how to read music, which will help you be able to just sit down and play anything you see, right? But at the same time, we're going to just start getting right into it, having some fun right at the beginning. So we'll work at these two different levels. The very meticulous, analytical, almost like we're scientists, like how many beats does this note get? Okay, we're going to play this. And really be exact, and then just totally play with the band and have fun and make up some music. And then eventually those two sides kind of meet. So I'm going to play an accompaniment, like I'm like a band, and you're just going to take your right hand and just any white notes. Matter of fact, let's just play right now. I'm going to ask you to take any finger, it could be this finger, index finger, and just play any white note probably on this side of the piano, your right side of the piano. Just go ahead, play any note. Right? Easy. There's no right or wrong, right? Now try any other white note. Go ahead. Okay? I'll just play a couple. And you're just going to listen to what they sound like. Why don't you just play two? And don't jump around too far for now. We're not going to do that right now. Just sort of keep them sort of next to each other. You could even repeat the same note twice. So I'm going to play two. Let's see. Go ahead, see if you can play two notes. Okay? Now I'm going to play two more. Go ahead. Okay. If you want, you can just hit pause on the video and do that for a few minutes right now. You can do two notes or three notes. That would be a really good thing to do. Actually, why don't you do that? Why don't you just push pause, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay? So, anyway, it's when you're improvising, another word for making up music, there's no right or wrong. And we're just going to play together right now, and I'm going to play a little accompaniment like this. And you're just going to feel the beat, and you're just going to play. You can start with just holding a note down. And just listening to it, and then maybe going a little up or a little down, a little next to the note, or you can repeat the same note. Even just using one finger you can do. And just have fun. Okay? Now if you hit a wrong note that you don't like, don't worry about it. Just go to the next one. Don't try to erase that note, or as if you could erase it or anything. If you hit a note that doesn't sound great, just go up or down a note and it'll work out. Just make it part of the melody, okay? So here we go. Get your finger ready, and just the white notes in your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, how'd you do? Okay, we're able to sort of just play some notes. You can play the same note a few times in a row. There's no right or wrong, and it's just like having a conversation with somebody. You know a certain amount of words, right? And you can just speak, right? And that's what we're doing. It doesn't have to be perfect every time. Matter of fact, it won't be because we're people. I'm not perfect all the time either. So you're just making, sounds going, up. When we say up the piano, that means to the right. These are the high notes. And down to the left are the low notes. So basically, we're just sort of going up and down using a scale. A scale is notes that are in a row. And we're just starting on the white notes because that makes a scale, a major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But you don't have to think about that right now. I just wanted to explain a little bit. We're not using the black notes yet. We will use those in other lessons. At first, it's a little hard to mix them up, like, okay, which ones work with the white notes and vice versa. So it helps to do either all white notes or all black notes at first. But eventually we'll get to that. But for now, we're just doing the white notes. And let's learn the fingers that we, because we number the fingers in piano. We say that our thumb is 1. So why don't you hold your hand like this together, and or close to each other, and just touch your thumbs together. Okay? So when I say a number, you touch that. So thumb is 1. Go ahead, 1. Now our next finger, the index finger, is going to be 2. So touch those together, 2. And then the middle finger is 3. Fourth, the ring finger is 4. And our pinky is 5. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do it backwards, starting with 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now I'm going to name one and see if you can do it. 3. All right. How about 5? Okay. 2. All right. 4. And then 1. All right, here's a tricky one. Let's go 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, and 5. All right. So now let's put your hand on any white note, and any of the white notes, and you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sort of in order wherever you start. All right, just sort of hold your hands there like you're holding a ball, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a try. Good. And now try 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where I am, it's going to sound like this. Right? So yours might sound a little different because you played a different part of the piano. Now let's try it with our left hand on any white note, maybe in the low part of the piano. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a try. All right, now I'll try it. And now try starting with your pinky in your left hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just something you can do to warm up your fingers each day or every couple of days or whatever. So now let's try improvising a little more. Now that you've got that, and you don't have to stay with those fingers. You can even just do one finger again, or 1 and 2, and just sort of have a little fun with it. I'll play a little faster than I did last time, but you can still play slow. You can even just hold notes for a long time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, how was that? So that might have felt comfortable, or it might have felt like, oh, what am I doing, right? But that's okay. That's part of just getting to know how to do something. So that will become easier over time as you become more confident. Don't put any pressure on yourself to sound good or to sound great, because your musical ear will start to take over, and your improvisations will sound good. And better as you get along, as you progress and get more comfortable doing this. but just enjoy what you're doing, and I bet that even sounded okay, right? All right. So now we're going to look at the PDF, and again, look at the checklist I put on this lesson page above lesson 1, next to that top video, the introductory video. Look at the checklist of just things to do, like, you know, try to have a lesson day each week where you look at a new video. Have somebody look at it with you, especially if you're pretty young. Have an adult look at it with you. You can email me any questions you have, and also, you know, punch 3 holes with 3-hole punch in these, and keep them in a 3-ring binder so that you don't lose them. All right, there's 2 pages for this lesson, and we're going to start by looking at the middle where it says the word measure, and I'll just sort of explain what all this stuff is. So from here to here is a measure, from that line, which is a bar line, to that bar line. That's called a measure, and a measure just means like a little section of the music. And you'll see there's a bracket here, fancy bracket. When you're writing your own music, you don't have to write that bracket, but they do it in printed music, or you can if you like. And it just sort of connects these 2 staves. Each of these groups of 5 lines is called a staff. And basically the top one is going to be for the right hand, which is mostly these notes. And the bottom one's for the left hand, which are these notes. And you don't have to memorize all this stuff right now, but just to give you an idea of what it is, the right hand has what's called the treble clef right here, and it looks like a G, a fancy G, and it's also called the G clef. And then the bass clef, which is the bass is like the low notes, right? That's down here, and it's called the F clef, because if you picture those 2 dots sort of as the lines of an F, which is the way it originated hundreds of years ago, it kind of looked like a fancy F. I don't know. But basically, this is called the treble clef, and it's for the right hand mostly. And the bass clef is for the left hand. And we're going to start with just the right hand playing notes for the first few lessons, and then we'll get into the left hand. But it seems to work better when we just learn the right hand really well at first, and then it's easier to add the left hand. Sometimes students get confused if we do both hands at once. And then this is called a time signature. It tells you how many beats are in each measure, or how many counts. And we're just going to look at the top number from here. It says 4/4, see in both hands? We're just looking at the top, and it means that there's 4 beats in each measure, because a lot of music has repeating sequences of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, like twinkle, twinkle. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear how it kind of groups it together like that. So we have treble clef, bass clef. This whole thing is called a measure. So down here, you can see we have 4 measures. So that's going to be 4 groups of 4 beats. And then these bar lines here, they separate the measures. And at the end of a piece of music or a song, you have a double bar line. And in printed music, they tend to make the last one thick, but when you're just writing it yourself, if you ever do that, you don't have to. You can just make 2 close bar lines, and it means the end of the song. So let's look at this first piece of music here. Number 1, it says middle C in whole notes. And in music, we each note on the keyboard, each white note, is going to have a letter name to it. And it really starts here with A. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we never get to H. It just repeats A, B, C, D, E, F, G over and over again. But I don't know why, but in piano music, they tend to start with C. We're not starting with A. And I don't know the reason for that, but it goes back hundreds of years. So if you look on the keyboard, there's white notes and black notes. And the black notes are grouped into groups of 3 and groups of 2. So why don't you right now just play every group of 2 black notes, like with me. Okay? And then we'll play every group of 3 black notes. And you might have more on your piano or keyboard than this one, but give it a shot. So those are the way we can, even the white notes, we can sort of see where they are because of those groups of 2 and 3 black notes. And you see between here and here, we don't have a black note, and between here and here, we don't. So it helps us, that's kind of our roadmap, where the black notes are, even though we're going to start with the white notes. And so if you look kind of in the middle of the keyboard or piano, not at the bass end or the treble end, somewhere in the middle, find that group of 2 black notes, and then the white note that's to the left of that, that's going to be middle C. Just find middle C and play it. It should sound just like this. Okay, just listen to it for a second. Okay, and we're going to start by playing middle C with our thumb, right? Our first finger, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our thumb is going to play middle C. We're going to hold our hand in a nice relaxed way, like we're holding a ball, and just let our thumb drop on C. And let's do that 4 times, and we're going to count to 4 each time, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, why don't you do that again? You can even put this on pause and do that again. Okay, now if you look at the first page of music here, you'll see it says middle C and whole notes, right hand, first finger, and that's what we just played. The note here that has a line through it, and it's just a big circle, that is middle C. And the line through it under the staff, the right hand treble clef staff, that means it's C, if it has a line through it like that. And if it's just a circle and it doesn't have any lines going up or down from it, that means that it gets 4 counts, and it's called a whole note. That's why I wrote middle C and whole notes, and they get 4 beats each. So we have a whole note here, a middle C whole note here, a middle C whole note there, and there. And that's what we just did. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And the left hand doesn't play anything in this lesson. Just ignore those little dots in the left-hand part. They're called rests, actually, those little bars. We'll get to that in a future lesson, but they actually tell you not to play in the left hand. So that's pretty easy to start with, and go over that a few times so that you remember that that circle means 4 counts, and it's a whole note. Okay, and then when you're ready, go on to the next page, and we're going to start with middle C in half notes. And if we have middle C again, which is the note with the circle through it, and a line going up from the right-hand side in this case, they get 2 counts each, only 2 beats, and those are called half notes. And you can count 1, 2, 1, 2. And you can count out loud if you want at first, and after a while you just feel it. But that's basically how to play this, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So let's play that together. 8 notes, 2 counts each, and you can look at the music. And I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4 to start before we play, okay? We'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So if you've never done this before, you might want to do that a few times and just get used to it. And then when you're ready, go on to number 3, which is middle C in quarter notes. And when the note is filled in, it's black. It's not an open circle, and a line goes up. It means it just gets 1 count each. So it's going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way across, and there's 4 times 4, 16 of them. Let's do that together. 1, 2, here we go. right? This is just learning how to read the music, so that's why I started with one note. Eventually we will get to different notes. Now in number 4, you'll see that I mixed up the rhythms. So let's think about this for a second. The first note, it's middle C because it has the line through it, but it's all open circle. Doesn't have any line. And remember, that was on the first page. How many beats does that get? Right, it gets 4. It's a whole note. So that's going to be ta. We hold it down for 4. And then these are those quarter notes. They just get 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And then this C is a half note from the top of the page, right? It gets 2 counts. C, 2. And then another one. 1, 2. Then at the end we have a whole note again. 2, 3, 4. So this whole page this whole song, number 4, Mixed Rhythms, goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, let's play that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now I'm going to count it and you play. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 before you start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can practice those as many times as you want until they really start to get easy. That's the idea. I'm going to play it one more time so you can watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're starting to use middle C with your thumb in your right hand. You can learn, you know how to read it on the page now. So at this point you can pause and practice this, or you can just go on to the end of the lesson and then practice it afterwards. Actually, that might be the best way to go about it. So let's improvise now, just using your right hand thumb with middle C. But you don't have to stay with the rhythms you've learned. You don't have to count 4 or 2 or 1. You can just play any rhythms you want, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, this will be a little rock and roll. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So you're just getting to know middle C that way and get used to playing it in a rock and roll context. Good, so now we're going to look at the number 5 here and use it to write our own music. And I'll show you how to do that. The first thing you have to know when you're writing your own music is always use pencil, not pen, because you're going to want to erase it sometimes and change it, or you make mistakes, so never use pen, just use pencil. And what I did was I left these 4 measures. See, in number 5, write your own music. Use middle C with mixed rhythms. And I'm going to show you how I would do it, and anything is correct as long as you have 4 beats in each measure. So let's say I wanted to start with a quarter note. So I'll draw that little line, and then I would fill in a quarter note on it, and then on the right-hand side, make a stem. That's a quarter note, and that gets 1 count, right? So since I need 4 in the measure, 4 beats, I have 1. How many more do I need? I need 3 more, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could make, my only real choice here is, well, let's see, I could do another quarter note. Let's see, I have a couple choices actually. I didn't realize that. I could make 2 more quarter notes now, or I have 2 more beats left, right? Because I have 1, 2, and then 2 more to make 4. I could also use what other kind of note? A half note, right? I could do a half note. See, because 1 and 1 and 2 makes 4. Now in the next measure, sometimes everybody thinks you have to do something different in every measure. I could just do the same thing again. Because a lot of times in music, you see repetition. And I think it's actually going to sound really good to do the same thing twice. Although you could do whatever you want. I'm just showing you my example. Now I'm going to make this real simple. In the next measure, I'm just going to make a whole note, right? A circle. And by doing this, you're going to learn the rhythms better, right? And then let's say in the next measure, I want to do 2 half notes. There's the line. There's the line. So, here's my music. I have 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. So here's my music. Pretty good, right? It's like a drummer just playing on one note. So now take a pencil, put this on pause, or you can do this later tomorrow or later in the week, and you're going to write your own rhythms there. And as long as you have 4 beats in each measure, there's no right or wrong. It's all going to sound good. So in this lesson so far, we've learned how to improvise on the white notes using just the right hand. Then we've learned how to play middle C and how to read it, and we've learned whole notes for 4 counts, half notes for 2 counts, and quarter notes for how many counts? 1, exactly. And we're writing our own music. So that's a lot in one lesson. So you're doing great to get started like this. You can see we're working on these 2 different levels, right? Learning the exact way to read the notes on the page and how to read music, just like you once learned your alphabet and how to read words. And now we're also learning how to just dive in and improvise, right? And write our own music. So let's go out by playing a little bit of that rock and roll again on the white notes. But now you can just play any notes. And actually, let's do it with your left hand. So sort of play around middle C, or not so low. When you're making up melodies, a lot of times it's not in the low part of the keyboard. It just sounds more like a bass line or more muddy or something. So play sort of in the middle, maybe, with your left hand. Any notes you want with white notes, any fingers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Have fun practicing the music. Try to get to it as many days as you can this week, and then go on to lesson number 2. See you then.